Oh. Hey everybody, and welcome to another Frost Reads Reddit. And today we have two wacky and kind of infuriating stories from r/I don't work here lady. By the way, this is one of my favorite subreddits. Anyways, first up we have Homophobia Doesn't Pay the Bills, and it was posted by Old Zoomy 2020. Decades ago, I was fresh out of the military and fresh out of the closet. I had landed a great first job as a software developer with a very small company. Nobody knew about my private life at work because, well, it's private. The office admin developed a crush on me and I told her that I was gay and had a boyfriend. She thought it was a terribly funny joke on her that she didn't pick up on me being gay, so she told it as a story on herself around the office. Now, our VP was a homophobic woman. Basically, she didn't like anybody who wasn't white, male, right-wing, and quote-unquote Christian. Since the office gossip was that she was sleeping with the owner and both were married to other people, her version of Christianity had a few loopholes in it. Now, I had spent most of the day helping a sales guy set up a database on his computer to track customers. Yeah, DBase 3. Totally easy to write an app over the phone. She called me into her office at 5 p.m., tells me there is gossip about me and that she can't have me working there anymore. My team was furious with her. We were a tight development team and this really blew up quickly. I quietly said goodbye, packed up my stuff, and drove home to tell my boyfriend I was unemployed for the first time in my life. I started a contract job that paid twice what I had been making. After 2 months, my former VP calls me and asks if I would work on the software project freelance. She offered me my former rate, to which I said no. I told her $50 an hour, which was like 5 times my salary. She said no. A week later, she calls back and says, "We really need you on this." I asked her, "Are you saying that you can't finish this without me?" "Yes," she replied, and I said, "Well, you should have thought of that before you fired me for being gay." Within a month, the whole software project was shut down, but my former teammates started their own company and contracted the work from her at 5 times their previous salary. Her bigotry cost her inexpensive and reliable employees, rattled the entire office at the budget hit, and made her look like a fool. Well, I mean, she kind of is a fool. Seriously though, when are people gonna learn that hatred and bigotry only get you in trouble? Personally, I have a more live and let live sort of mindset. Honestly, not everybody is gonna be the same, so just let them live their best life. Anyways, up next we have I Thought You Didn't Need Me Anymore. And this was posted by Cordero Biggs. I really hope I didn't fluff up that name. Many years ago, I was still in college after coming out of the USMC, and worked for a small commercial remodeling company as a site supervisor. Part of my duties was a daily report on manpower, production, daily events, etc. I've always been one to go one step further, and my reports, according to the production manager, didn't need to be so detailed. Just the nuts and bolts, not the whole assembly, he'd say. Well, I kept a detailed log, and in it I kept a description of every call, email, conversation, and change order, right down to material, hours, and manpower. This was more for my reference than it was to document for my job. I used my own laptop for my projects, and everything in it belonged to me, not the company. Throughout this project, there were many change orders that added around $90,000 to the project. Change orders were presented to and signed by the client and turned in. We still finished on time with the original schedule. I forgot to mention that this was an educational facility and all work had to be performed from 6 p.m. to 4 a.m., so there was zero office support because everyone else was at home sleeping for most of it. So I was on my own, and this caused a rift between myself and the grossly incompetent PM. I've never been quiet about grievances. At the end of this project, I was told I wouldn't be needed any longer, was given my final paycheck, and sent on my way. Roughly 3 months later, I got a call from the PM asking if I had notes or documentation on the change orders from that project, and I confirmed that I did. He asked me if I could sit in a meeting with him, the owner of the company, and the members of the Board of Regents to verify the change orders because they were balking at the added charges. He offered my previous pay scale, $27 an hour, to do this, to which I balked and countered with double, including my drive time to and from, plus gas, and he balked. He proceeded to scream into the phone and I hung up. He called back and began screaming again, and I simply said triple and hung up. Then he called back again and told me that he knew who I was working for and would make sure that he got me fired. I was doing piecework framing and drywall on my own. I worked for me. Long story short, the owner called and talked to me. We agreed on a fair price and that the PM wouldn't be involved whatsoever with the meeting. I didn't want to see him or hear him. He agreed, told me the date of the meeting, and agreed to send over a contract, but never did. I didn't answer any of the many calls that came in on the day of the meeting. Still don't know if they worked it out, but I know that the PM left shortly after, and the owner is a superintendent for one of our competitors. Yo, this one actually started off pretty normal, but then the PM got mean, and well, honestly though, if I was in the same situation and got yelled at for not wanting to take my old salary for a couple hours to help out a company that fired me, I'd tell that person to get fluffed. Anyways, I know we don't normally do this, but since we have time, I'm gonna add a third story, and don't worry, this one's a little short. This one's called I Forgot That I Don't Work Here, and it was posted by Nat Librarian. A few years ago, I used to work at a large grocery store in my hometown. I worked there for about a year before I had to quit due to a very abusive manager, but overall I enjoyed the experience. I was a clerk and cashier whose jobs varied between customer service, cleaning, and general busy work around the building. Not long before Christmas last year, I had a really bad bout of insomnia and I hadn't slept for about 36 hours. But I had to go to the store and buy some groceries for the week. So I go to the store and start looking around for what I need to buy, but I'm very, very tired and can hardly remember what I'm looking for. I noticed that a woman was looking confused between her list and the shelves, and I politely asked her if she needed help with anything. I directed her to the product she needed in another aisle, and I also got it off the shelf for her as she was quite short. Then I helped another lady get something off of the high shelf, and at this point I sort of dazed out and forgot that I didn't work there anymore. I proceeded to spend the next 3 hours doing my old job. I would help customers find things, I grabbed a broom and swept half the aisles, and I even did about half a dozen cart runs to bring in shopping carts which, due to the snow, were thrown haphazardly around the lot wherever the customers were when they got done with them. Eventually, I started bagging groceries for customers at one of the registers when the cashier, a new person who did not work there when I did, noticed I was not wearing a uniform and bluntly asked me what the fluff I was doing, and I really didn't have an answer for that. Eventually, I just said to her, "Oh right, I don't work here." I mean, yeah, I could see this happening. I know I do some really funny things when I'm tired too. The fact that they were just helping everybody out too was adorable. I actually really like hearing Good Samaritan stories. They make me feel all warm and fuzzy. Anyways, that's it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the stories, and if you want to tell me what you think about them, leave a comment down below. I really love hearing your guys' comments. But until next time, everybody, bye!
Oh yeah, I want to show our patrons some love too because they're awesome. Their contributions help us to afford all the neat stuff we use to record. So thank you. And if you want to become a patron too, you can click the link down in the description. You'd really be helping the channel out, and you'd get a couple nifty goodies too. Anyways, if you made it this far in the video, then yay, you're amazing. By the way, subscribe. Please don't make a foxy beg.